Hello everyone, this is Mr. Hoffman, and today we're going to be talking about the Treble Clef Code Breaker assignment. Now I know this was a pretty frustrating assignment for a lot of us, so I'm here today to go over it and to explain a little bit about how I would have done it. So here we go. So the first thing we need to do is we need to know the names of the line notes and the space notes. These are the two categories of notes we have on the staff. The line notes have a line going through them, just like this one here, or this one here. And the space notes are between the lines. You can see there's a line here, and there's a line here, but this note is in the space in between. So that's why we call it a space note, and we call the other one a line note, first off. And second, there are a lot of these notes, so we need a strategy to remember them. And one way that we can do this is by using a phrase or a mnemonic. And what that means is for each of these letters, we're going to come up with a word, and that word's going to fit into a sentence. That sentence is what's going to help us remember the order of the words or the order of the letters. So, for example, I have here my examples for the treble clef line notes from bottom to top. We have E, G, B, D, F. Now, when you get to my age and when you've been doing music for a while, you just sort of remember that. But when you're still learning, and even sometimes when you are a professional, you need to remind yourself what are the names of these line notes, E, G, B, D, F. Well, I can come up with a sentence that uses each of those letters in order, or a word with each of those letters in order. My sentence is, every good burger deserves fries, which is true, right? Every good burger does deserve fries. And by remembering that sentence, I can tell what any line note is. So let's say, for example, that I have here a line note in front of me, and I know it's the fifth line note up. I've counted 1, 2, 3, or I've counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I know that's the fifth line note up, right? And I need to remember what the note's name is. Now, I could go and I could look at this picture, but I won't always have that in front of me. So if I remember, every good burger deserves fries. Fries is the fifth word. Fries starts with F, so that note must be F. Remember, I count up from the bottom until I find the number note, or the number of line that it is, and I use that number to find, with my phrase, to find what the letter name should be. Let's try it again with the space notes. These space notes, of course, being between the lines. And in these spaces are also numbered from bottom to top. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's say I want to find the name of the note on the third space. I've counted 1, 2, 3, and there we go. That's my third space. So I know it's the third one, and I can go, oh yeah, that spells face, F-A-C-E, but C is the one that I was looking for. So I can know that that's C, or I can use my phrase here, friends always care for everyone. Now that word for isn't really part of our phrase, it's just sort of there to make the sentence work. But you'll see on my next slide I have another example without any extra words. So I can go, friends always care. Care starts with C, so it's a C. And it's pretty much that exact process for all of the ones on the worksheet. You can see here I've come up with another set of phrases. Elephants give better desserts forever for our line notes, E, G, B, D, F. And Frank ate candy every day for our space notes, F-A-C-E, face. And you can come up with your own, or you can copy the ones from my example slide. That is up to you. So moving on to this worksheet, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at this example here. So I'm looking at this first example, and I see there's 3 notes there, and I've already done this one for you, but let's review it. So for this first one, we have it's on a line. Number 1, we ask is it on a line or in a space, and the answer in this case is that it is on a line, and I know this because there's a line running through it. Which line is it? Well, I'll count up from the bottom. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like, I'm pretty sure, it's on the 4th line. So I can flip back to my other slide. I can look at my, I can look at the picture, or I can remember every good burger deserves fries. Every good burger deserves. 4th line, 4th word, deserves, starts with D. So that letter, that note letter is D. Similarly, for this second note here, it is we can number our spaces. I'm just going to do that real quick. I'm going to number them in a different color. Only 4 spaces on this staff, and I can see this note right here. This note is in a space because it's between 2 lines. And which space is it? Well, I count up from the bottom. 1, 2. And I have that is the 2nd space. And I can think friends always, as in friends always care for everyone. And always is the 2nd word because it's the 2nd space. And always starts with A, so it's an A. Or I can think Frank ate candy every day. 8 is the 2nd word. 8 starts with A. And so the letter is A. Or I can remember F-A-C-E, face. F-A, 2nd letter, A. And what I can also do is if I figured out a letter or a note already, anytime I see that note anywhere else on this worksheet, I can fill that in. So so I'm going to take a second to do that. I'm going to find all of the 4th line D's and all of the 2nd space A's. So I'll be right back with you. Hey everyone, I'm just finishing up adding all of my 2nd space A's and my 4th line D's, and I just wanted to show you I found one down here in this, looks like it's the 2nd to last word. So I'm going to go ahead and add that letter. Oops, wasn't quite big enough. There we go. And I see it again right here. And I see it again here and here. So so I also found some over here. There's an A right here. There's a D right here. There's an A right here that was done. There are 2 A's in here. There's an A and a D next to each other in this word on that 2nd row. And there are more throughout. So another thing that I can do is I can look and I can see there are other notes that are already done for me, and I could use those to fill it in. But let's do a few more here. The ones that I actually do want to point out to you, because they weren't on this this slide, that wasn't really given to you, and that's my mistake, is this below the staff note here. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, let's do this one. So for this note right here, I'm just going to go ahead and circle that. For this note right here, this is below the staff, and because of that, we don't really have a place for it in our phrase or in our mnemonic. But what we can use is some context clues. So I know that this is the space right below the first line. And the first line, if I go back here, the first line note is E. And the letter that comes right before E in the alphabet is D. And so that's actually what this note is going to, what this note is. That is a D. And that is true because when we count from bottom to top and we just run through the alphabet, the letters A through G from bottom to top, and it repeats over and over again. So every time there's an A, there's a B right above it. Every time there's a B, there's a C right above it. Every time there's an E, just looking at it from a different perspective, every time there's an E, there's a D below it. And so that's how I found this note right here, this one right below the staff. And since I used that fact in figuring it out, I can know that this bottom line note is E, and I can go from there. There's another note that's below the staff. It's this one. Let me circle that. This one right here in a different color. This guy right here below the staff. It's got the line going through it. It's got a ledger line actually because it's below the staff. But it is a line note because it has a line going through it. And so I'm going to use the same logic that I used before. I know that this space note right here, is D, and this note right here is going to be one below it, and below every D, right below every D, is C because that's how our alphabet works. So this note, I'm going to draw an arrow to it here. This note is C, and that's another one that you would not have gotten. So I'm going to fill that in, and any other time I find that in our worksheet, I'm going to add that in as well. I see it right here. I don't see it anywhere else. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's do this one right here. So first question I ask, is it a line or a space? This note here. If you're saying it's a line note, I absolutely agree with you. Let's count up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the fifth line note. Every good burger deserves fries. Fries is the fifth word. F starts that word. So that fifth line note is F. How about this one right here? Is it a line or a space? I think it's a space because it is between two lines. So let's count up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fourth space note. So I go F, A, C, E, E. That's what this space note is. Let's keep it going. This note here, is it a line or a space? It's a line note because there's a line going through it. A little bit hard to see in this case, but yeah, there's a line going through it. And which line is it? Well, let's count up from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. It's the third line. Every good burger. Burger starts with B, so this letter is B. I'm going to use this logic to fill in the rest of the answers to this worksheet. I'm going to post that answer key on Google Classroom for you. Thanks so much for watching. I know this was a little bit of a long video, but thanks for watching, and I hope this helped. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.